This is the After Party, live with Kim McAllister. Pick a couch, grab a drink, and settle into the conversation.
Well, hello. It is the After Party Live on a Waterfall Wednesday, and I suddenly feel kind of lonely. Where's Glenn? He's not here today, but boy, that was so much fun yesterday. I had the best time. Huge thank you to Glenn and to his wife as well for all of the information they sent in preparation of yesterday's segment. It was just really fun for me to do that. I haven't received any emails from you yet about where you have been that you might want to share with us and come on the show. And you don't have to appear on camera if you don't want. It could just be your voice, whatever, but I would love to have you. Absolutely. So please consider emailing me. It is kim@theafterparty.live. And put that on the screen, kim@theafterparty.live. Email me. Let's talk and let's get you on the show. It's not that complicated. Super easy. Maybe come up with, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 of the best places to go in the locale that you choose. And we'll get some pictures lined up and it'll be fine. So yeah, I'd love to have you. Super fun to have guests on the show. And it's a really cool way for us all to get to know each other as well. I do want to thank everyone who contributes to the After Party Live. And that includes the folks that consistently come through, have set up the PayPal contributions to the show and are keeping the show afloat. So huge, huge thank you to the partiers who have decided to participate in the show in more ways than one, including contributions. So Wes coming through again today with yet another contribution to the show. Ms. Organic with a contribution, Vanessa P, Wes from yesterday. So thank you guys so much. Ooh, I got a payment from Podbean. That's the service that I use to put the audio version of this show up as well. They refunded me $20. Yay, we like that as well. I'll take it however I can get it. Podbean. It's weird because I'm looking at today's show and I have so many amazing pictures to share with you that you won't see them if you're listening to the podcast. But however you're here, however you're listening to the show and participating, thank you so much for making time for the After Party Live, because I love this little show and I want it to succeed. Okay. Let's see. I sent some Hamasa Springs pictures. Okay, I'll have to go. Will you come on, Tammy? Will you come on and share it? Love it. Here's Glenn throwing another $2 Australian into the mix. I love that so much. Thank you for coming on, Glenn. That was amazingly fun. All right, let's move forward because I have some stories for you today. It is packed. And the first story I have for you is about these guys. Look how cute they are. Those are cute little eaglets. I sure hope they survive. So far, they're doing really well in Big Bear. These are the eaglets that recently hatched in the nest in Big Bear, their parents, Jackie and Shadow. And now the work begins to name these 2 little nameless eaglets. The way they do it is they take submissions from people, your best ideas for names, and then they have a group of 3rd graders in the Big Bear area vote and select the final names. So at the Friends of Big Bear Valley website, they are taking your name submissions, and they do this for a small donation. So you have to pay to play at the Big Bear Valley website. Contribute to play, right? They say that they're a nonprofit, that your generosity helps them provide the live stream ad-free as a public benefit for all. Their website, they want everyone to know, is the only place to submit chick names for consideration. And so they are going to take your ideas. Last year, they received more than 54,000 name suggestions. And then the 3rd graders got to choose from 31 final names. Some of the final names were Sky, Crackle, Talon, Blaze, Bell. In the end, of course, they picked Sunny and Gizmo. In 2022, the chick was named Spirit. So now what are we going to name these 2? Any ideas? Go to that Friends of Big Bear Valley website and submit your ideas for a small donation. Sure hope they're okay. Yeah. Anything I can do to support that Eagle live feed cam that they have up and running for free without any advertisements at all. It has brought me, and I think most of us, great joy to watch their live feed. I have an update for you on this guy. Remember this guy? He broke out of his enclosure in Placer County, and it took a while. They rounded him back up. This is Zeus. Well, Zeus was taken back to his area, his pen, and then for the second time, he escaped. Oh, the Placer County Animal Services said Zeus, who is a legally owned zebra, escaped again on Monday from the Lincoln area home at which he lives. He was safely found on a road just north of Lincoln later on in the day. CHP out of Auburn confirming the zebra has been returned home after being located along West Wise Road. So he escaped Friday. They brought him home, and then he escaped again on Monday. They think that the repeated escapes might be due to Zeus still adjusting to his recent arrival at his new home there. They don't know exactly what's leading him to get out. But yet again, Zeus on the move. Really cool story about these sea otters. Look at those little faces. Those are cuties. These sea otters have been named Surrey because one was found near Big Sur, and Willow, who was found at the Willow Creek Beach day use area in Monterey, rescued at 6 weeks old near Carmel State Beach. So both of these sea otters were rescued as pups. And then they went other places. They were at the Aquarium of the Pacific in Long Beach and also at the Shed Aquarium in Chicago. And now they are back in their home area at the Monterey Bay Aquarium. They are considered excellent candidates for the Sea Otter Surrogacy Program. They'll be serving as species ambassadors at the Sea Otter exhibit and live cam. And it's hoped that they'll be able to help orphaned otter pups in the future as well. That the otters that live there could act as adoptive mothers or companions to other young pups who have been stranded and could help them teach the skills that they need to survive in the wild, how to groom, how to forage, all of these things. These sea otters federally listed as a threatened species under the Endangered Species Act, and they are on the red endangered list of International Union for Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources. The aquarium says the current southern sea otter population averages around 3,000, which is so interesting because you think, there's so many more of them around. Willow and Surrey now in the display area at the Monterey Bay Aquarium. Not such a happy story, this one. We'll call them the narco hippos. The country of Colombia plans to euthanize dozens of what they're calling cocaine hippos. These are descendants of animals that were brought to this region by drug trafficker Pablo Escobar. The original animals that were brought, he brought, I think, 4 hippos. And now, after this many years later, we're up to 200. In the 1980s, Escobar housed the hippos along with rhinos, elephants, and other smuggled creature at his estate and his private zoo. He got 3 females and 1 male, and they started reproducing, and they had no natural predators or droughts to keep the hippo population in check, and so they thrived. Then Escobar is shot and killed in 1993, and authorities came and they seized his hacienda, and they transferred almost all the animals to nearby zoos except for the hippos because it was just too hard. They couldn't move them, hard to move them around. The logistics were difficult. So they left them there thinking that the animals probably wouldn't survive. But survive they did. As a matter of fact, they began spreading to neighboring regions and causing some problems. Even today, people around the area say they trample farmland, attack cattle, menace the villagers, compete with native species like river turtles and manatees, contaminate lakes and rivers with droppings, eat massive amounts of vegetation, about 150 pounds per day. And they've also, because they only started with 4, they're very inbred, and it's caused some visible genetic damage in these hippos. The government leaders have been trying to figure out, what are we going to do with the cocaine hippos? And so are saying that if they do nothing, the population, which is now 200, could reach 1,000 by 2035. They tried to cull these animals in 2009, but there was national outrage because pictures circulated showing the death of these hippos, so they stopped. They tried non-lethal approaches, surgical sterilization, injected contraceptives, but that was really expensive and also pretty unsuccessful. So what to do? They were thinking maybe we'll try to give them to zoos or other governments. Nobody wants them, they say. So now they say there's no choice but to euthanize. They expect to kill an initial 80 hippos during the second half of this year, and they have budgeted almost $2 million for this plan. It also does include some confinement and relocation. Of course, animal activists are opposed to this, saying that killings and massacres will never be acceptable. And some residents in Colombia feel a little protective toward these hippos as well. They still bring tourists in to come see these cocaine hippos, as they call them. So people there say we've learned how to cohabit with the hippopotamus and can read their body language, so we know when they're angry and they want to be left alone. Besides, they say they were born here and they're Colombians now too. So the plight of the cocaine hippo, kind of a sad situation. And I bring it to you because it's a real highlight about what happens when we bring these wild animals. We have to have them, right? For whatever reason, people, not me or us, but people, they have to have these wild animals, and look what happens. This is why there's laws against this. And now the situation becomes sad. Do you see this story? It's another one of these. Wow. This falling ice chunk came right through the roof of a home here in California, landed right on the couch in the living room. Wow. Happened in this Los Angeles County area. This dirt covered ice chunk came crashing through a roof in Whittier, punched a hole in the ceiling you can see there up top, landed right on the living room couch of this house in Whittier. The flight data shows a plane was flying overhead at the time, and the homeowner says, well, they're very lucky no one was in the room when this happened. Could have been much worse. They want the FAA to investigate whether the ice chunk fell from a plane. The resident was home at the time of this incident, said it sounded like an explosion. Can you imagine the sound of that thing coming through your roof? The homeowner says they're keeping the ice, which has a foul odor. They're keeping it bagged and frozen until it can be identified. Some of that is human waste, right? From airplanes. They said we definitely want to know what it consists of and if it's going to affect our health. And we understand if it's an airplane or something of like that, we understand why it happens, because even right now, as we're speaking, there's a plane over us and it's scary. I can imagine once that happens. But I mean, the chances of this coming through your roof, I would think is pretty slim. But it happened. Thank goodness no one was hurt. Can't say the same about this spot. This is a sacrificial altar in Mexico. It's from a civilization that thrived even before the Aztecs. When it was found, it was surrounded by human skulls, uncovered at the site of the Toltec people and their capital in central Mexico. The folks in Mexico were doing some construction on a new railway project when they come upon this. It's surrounded by human skulls and femur bones. An archaeologist took a look and said, "This looks like it's a sacrificial altar built by the Toltec people about 1,000 years ago." And there it's been sitting ever since. The Toltecs dominated central Mexico between about the 10th and 12th centuries. They were toppled by the Aztecs. This excavated altar was found just outside of the Tula Archaeological Monument Zone, which is where the ruins of the Toltec capital are located. The square shaped monument has 3 tiers of stone. And in addition to human bones, archaeologists found ceramic bowls, obsidian fragments, and blades at that site. Kind of creepy. The archaeological remains in the area in the Mexican state of Hidalgo include a major civic center composed of a temple pyramid and a plaza and a palace complex, 2 ball courts, other temple pyramids. The city of Tula spanned more than 6 square miles, and as many as 60,000 people lived in that area. So interesting that they would find this as they're digging to build a new railway. Wow. Check out Yellowstone. This is Yellowstone Springs. And I think we have this story, so I'll call it an update. There was a guy who was misbehaving at Yellowstone, got too close to the hot springs. This man from Texas, his name is Eric Bedient. He is 50, so you can't blame it on his silly youth. He's from Frisco, Texas, and he was at Yellowstone when he stepped right off the trail and walked on several fragile, dangerous hydrothermal features. There are signs everywhere saying, "Don't do that," but he did. According to the U.S. Attorney's Office, the District of Wyoming, Mr. Bedient was sentenced last week to 5 days in jail. His sentence will be served rather at a federal facility near his home in Texas. 5 days? I'd like it to be a month. I don't know. They say it's against the law to thermal trespass in Yellowstone. And it's not only because they want to preserve the area, but it's also for your own safety. The thin rock crust surround the hot springs, and they're filled with hot water that's hot enough to severely burn or kill people. It has happened in the past. More than 20 people have died from Yellowstone hot springs burns. So it's not just don't do it because we say don't do it. It's don't do it because you could die. The Yellowstone thermal areas, according to the U.S. Attorney, are among the most dangerous natural features in the world. So this man's disregard for the law could have actually cost him his life. He walked near the Canary Spring, Mound Terrace, Pallet Hot Spring, and Jupiter Terrace, ignoring all of the prominent signs along the way. All of these springs part of the Mammoth Hot Springs area. As you can see here, some of them often gold in color with splashes of vibrant pink and neon colors. Didn't care. Hopped off the boardwalk, and off he went, walking through it. They're hoping that by prosecuting crimes like that, it'll deter other people from doing the same thing and keep them from becoming thermal soup. The U.S. Attorney says we'll continue holding individuals accountable to protect lives and preserve this unique, irreplaceable landscape when their actions threaten these national treasures for future generations. Pierce Brosnan also left the walkway. Remember that? He was only fined $500, and then he had to pay $1,000 to the Yellowstone Forever Fund after walking on thermal features and posting on Instagram about it. He must have had a better lawyer. Mr. Bedient gets 5 days. Mr. Brosnan gets $1,500. I don't know if 5 days is enough of a deterrent, honestly. I mean, if you wanted to get close to nature, be one of the few people who could see it, risk your life, walk on the wild side, is 5 days in federal prison gonna get you? Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't do it for a host of reasons. We wouldn't, right? Because we're not the Turon type. Maybe he's a MAGA Texan who doesn't believe rules apply to him. Wouldn't think Pierce would have been so stupid. Just because he's good looking doesn't mean there's a lot of, you know, stuff upstairs. Blue Spark says a guy went through the fence at Lassen to get a selfie and boiled alive. Yeah, it happens. Dangerous spots, right? Sal says, I fully believe in letting Darwin do his work. Like the people who mess with the bison because they look fuzzy and cute. I agree with you. I mean, I don't want to see anyone hurt, but I have a little less sympathy if you ignore the signs and you know, I guess everyone makes mistakes. Again, I don't want to see anyone hurt, but yeah, I hear you. I agree with your sentiment. All right. Well, from Turons to coins. And this is not a coin that was found, it's a coin to be found. There is a coin hunt and it is taking over San Francisco. This is a rare coin worth $50,000, a gold rush era Humbert slug. There's the third year now this is happening. Whittier Coin in San Francisco is hosting a treasure hunt across the city, collectively worth over $50,000. But the grand prize is this incredibly rare $50 gold piece from 1851. It's valued at $25,000. Whittier says, this city was built around the pursuit of gold, and we wanted to create something that brings that spirit back, bring that gold rush back, something real, tangible, and rooted in San Francisco history. And so here we go with another contest, another gold rush in San Francisco. So this is an 1851 Humbert slug. It's octagonal, as you can see. Technically not US currency. It was an ingot minted by the official United States Assay Office of Gold. It's assayer Augustus Humbert. It's got a bald eagle standing on top of a boulder. This $50 slug, it was worth 50 at the time, contained 2.5 ounces of gold, so it was one of the largest currencies of its kind. Here's how it works. Whittier will release hourly clues starting on Saturday, April 25th to help scavenger hunters pinpoint the location of this Humbert slug, as well as 9 other historic collectible currency pieces, each treasure to be hidden in iconic San Francisco neighborhoods. There won't be digging or trespassing required to access them, so no breaking of the laws, but you have to know your San Francisco history, figure out where these will be located. Kind of fun. And my first thought is, what could go wrong? Like, who's going to do something stupid on the scavenger hunt? I don't know. There is a new kind of bicycle bell. We got a high-tech bike bell coming in by Czech automaker Skoda. They have designed this. It's called the Duo Bell. And the whole point of it is, people are riding around on bikes and they're wearing these noise canceling headphones. Well, the Duo Bell bicycle bell penetrates noise canceling headphones. Here's this crazy thing. There is this frequency at which you can break through. It is 750 hertz. And this bell rings precisely at that frequency to break through the noise canceling headphones. You're trying to help prevent bike pedestrian collisions, which have become an increasing problem. So the company, Skoda, says there's a narrow gap that commonly exists in the audio filters of headphones with active noise canceling technology, allowing wearers to hear the Duo bell more readily than they would hear a regular bike bell. And they say this innovation could really help make streets safer. The bike pedestrian collisions in London are up 24% into 2024. And the noise canceling headphones appear to be a contributing factor to that. 54% of headphone models now include the technology. So they say this is a simple analog solution to a digital problem. It is 100% mechanical, works by detecting external sounds and generating an opposite sound wave to filter them out in real time before they reach the wearer. The folks at Skoda partnered with the University of Salford to conduct a study examining how the noise canceling technology affects the audibility of traditional bike bells. And they found what they're terming a narrow safety gap, where the sounds in the mid frequency range of 750 to 780 hertz consistently penetrate the noise canceling filters. Then they engineered this bell. And it's kind of cool looking. If it works and it's safe, helps people hear stuff, that's great. So there's that in the world. Interesting solutions to these problems that we kind of bring upon ourselves, right? Here's another one. It's a death cart, I call it. It's actually a mobile printing press, and it's meant to record your feelings at the end of your life. Kind of interesting. The folks working on palliative care came up with this idea. Irish artist John Conway developing a mobile printing press that can be wheeled right to a patient's bedside to produce prints capturing their thoughts and emotions as they near death. Mr. Conway worked with the Dublin-based fabricator Spaceforms to construct this trolley. It's got medicine dispensers, traditional printing presses. They used all of these things in order to create it. The key functional elements include its wooden drawers for holding paper, word blocks that patients can use to construct phrases and sentences, along with surface-mounted press and pull-out drying racks. It's a socially engaged project to document and share patients' feelings with loved ones or to the wider public. It says, in a lot of cases, the artworks might be the last thing these people put down on paper or the ultimate statement to a loved one. So there's an urgency and an importance to capturing what they have to say. It's interesting. The project developed in response to a call for ideas aimed at enhancing health and well-being through collaborations between artists and local health providers. I don't know if I'm on my deathbed, if the last thing I want to do is this, but perhaps it'll bring someone some joy. When my dad was in the hospital in Oregon a year ago, and we knew he wasn't going to make it. He had a massive stroke and he lived long enough for my sister and I to go say goodbye. And we were there for one day before he passed away. And in this hospital in Oregon, they have on staff a harpist who comes around and asks the family if they'd like to hear music or if the loved one would like to hear music. And they did. This man put on the show of a lifetime in my dad's hospital room. And it was just me and my dad in the room at the time. And he must have played 5 or 6 songs. And I could kind of see my dad responding a little bit because I think he couldn't speak at that point, unconscious, but I feel like he heard it. And even if he didn't, it was so peaceful and lovely. So there are things that are being done as we speak to help families going through really rough times. And if this helps someone, great. To get your last words down on paper or your last thoughts in an artistic form, whatever helps people. Speaking of art, though, I have some pictures of this year's art installation. They do this every year at Coachella, the Coachella Music Festival. The place I would be is wherever the tea is at Coachella Valley Coffee. Bring me the tea. I have Cliff make me the tea. But this is at the music festival, and this year's art installation included these colored walls of shade. It's an inflated maze, so you kind of walk around and get lost in these giant inflatables here. Kind of cool. These works were installed across the festival grounds at the Coachella Valley Music and Arts Festival, and you can interact with these things, or could, during the festival day and night. Here's another section. Check these out. It's kind of cool. These are they're called Starry Eyes by a London-based architect, referencing the local star-shaped golden barrel cactus. This Starry Eyes installation consists of pleated orb volumes nestled together. Some of these are 40 feet high. The entire structure creates a fort-like structure that you can go into and get a little bit of shade during the day. So that's kind of a cool one. And I will say, it looks really awesome at night too. Check it out, all lit up. That's cool. Here's another one. Kind of looks like it's interesting. Looks like the old Mother Hubbard house from the fairy tales. This is the Visage Brute, done by a Los Angeles design group. They say it's a computational construction reimagining the logic and mythology of a totemic tower. It's made of a series of illuminated modular boxes which appear to be folded, cut, and warped, just short of losing the structural integrity. I say it's much more impressive at night when it's lit up, but it's attracting a pretty big crowd. Here's another one. Art installation. This is Network Operations by Dido Vabo. It's a command center, an overgrown broadcast organism with satellite dishes and a series of shadow boxes with a performance space on each floor. So that's fun. The Coachella Valley Music and Art Festival, it was last weekend from the April 10th to 12th, and also from the April 17th through 19th. So these things are still up. You can still go check it out. Kind of cool. I like it better at night when things are all lit up. But I could definitely see using the this for shade in the heat of the Coachella Valley. I have some more for you. This is kind of almost like a That's Rich. What do you think of this kitchen? Kind of green, kind of drab for my taste. There is this yacht. It's called the World. All right. And the whole point of it is that you get a little apartment on the boat, and you then travel around the world from port to port to port. So there's a client that lives in Lake Tahoe that decided, I'm going to go on the world, gets a little I don't know if they're an apartment or a stateroom. It's more than a room, though. It's like it's got a kitchen and a living room and a bedroom and a bathroom. And they hire this San Francisco based design company called Studio Ahead. This is, must be nice to be this rich. And they hire the studio to complete the interiors of their suite aboard this massive private yacht called the World. They had to install all of this in stages as this ship sailed from port to port. The client is called a pioneering biotech bon vivant. This is one of 165 residences aboard the World. It's a private residential yacht that operates kind of like a condo complex. Clients, I guess, after several years of having a lakeside vacation home in Tahoe, the client needed a change. She loved her current getaway and living next to the water, but wanted to travel to move around, but still be in place. And so this is what they've come up with. This is the kitchen they designed. Imagine how much that cost. I like my kitchen better, and I don't even like my kitchen. Yikes. Maybe the green is supposed to be soothing? I don't know. I'm not a fan. Here is the living room. Meh. Big fuzzy couch. I don't know. I'm not impressed. Maybe it's because I'm not really down with the whole modern thing. They put in this fish chair, which aboard a boat looks maybe a little dangerous and certainly uncomfortable. Look at the spikes. That does not look like a chair I would look at and think, "Ooh, I want to see how that feels." No, it looks incredibly uncomfortable. I get that it's supposed to be stylish. Keep your fish chair. Here's the dining room. It's called a goat skin dining table. The bench is interesting. The chair is a little interesting. No thanks. And then they have some more uh fish. It's a fish lamp, fish skeleton lamp. They said we wanted to emphasize light and air to take advantage of the ever-changing sea glimmer outside. In such a small space, we used welcoming forms and rounded edges that no one would be afraid to bump into. Yeah, except for the fish lamp and the fish chair. And then I'm not a fan of the bedroom either. Look at that. Are they trying to be modern and like different? No. The only thing I like in the whole place is the bathroom. That's all right. Maybe I'm just too traditional. I don't get it. I'm not artsy enough. All right, we'll move on from the World to the cottage. This cottage is for sale in Southern California. It is 432 square feet, but look at that view. It's on the beach, right on the ocean. It's $18.8 million. That's the price tag. Let me say it again. 432 square foot cabin. 18.8 mil. It's in Laguna Beach. It has 0 bedrooms, 1 bathroom. They say the price tag means it's about $43,519 a square foot. The lot is about 8,500 square feet or 0.2 acres, but it's on a rare, they say, oversized lot with a gentle slope and desirable southeast orientation. Well, maybe it's a teardown and a rebuild. I mean, I don't know. Here's another picture of it. So you can see these bigger homes all around, and then this teeny tiny little cottage right there. Here's an overhead shot. There's the little cottage. See, cottage way back, but that's the one thing they did well. I think, is set it so far back, because if you look at the edge of these, this is the bluff. That's kind of crumbly to me. I'm not so cool with that. That looks like Erosion City. But 18.8 million for that view. Sure is pretty. There is no bedroom. You have to sleep on the couch. Here's how it looks like inside. There's a little couch, little area, bathroom, little strip of kitchen, maybe a hot plate, and this incredible view of the ocean for $18.8 million. You do get your own stairs, though. You can see that it has its own private, yet rickety stairs that look like they're crumbly. The other places, I don't know if they have stairs. They might. But you get your own cottage stairs right down to this beach where it looks like there's a lifeguard out there. So that's nice. Here's the cottage at night. It's so little, surrounded by all these monstrous homes. You can see the stairs right down to the ocean. Look how close the water gets to that bluff. Yeah, $18.8 million. I don't wonder how long that neighborhood's going to last. This guy is the oldest first-time grandfather. Man is from Australia. We love the Australians, right? He is 91. Charles Smith, 91 years and 209 days when his first grandchild was born, his granddaughter Isla, born to his son Ashley and daughter-in-law Hannah. And the Guinness World Record says this is the oldest first-time grandfather, 91 years, 209 days. He was 55 when his son was born. He said, all I can say is I picked up my granddaughter and I didn't want to give her back, except for the nappy changes. The most impressive thing his son said about my dad's independence is that he lives a great retirement, traveling around Australia in his camper van, heading out on the boat around Moreton Bay. Age has not slowed him down at all. I think the son says he's more active than ever. He has a positive attitude and a strong circle of friends, which says so much about him. And knowing him, the amount of tea he drinks probably has something to do with it. Oh, a tea drinker. Maybe I'll have some longevity. Who knows? So congratulations to Charles Smith, almost 92, on the birth of his first grandchild. Lotto of the day, before we get to some waterfalls, I have some. This is, you think this store's kind of lucky, feels lucky. They've had a bunch of winners. Some people might think their luck is tapped out. Your chances of winning somewhere other people have won, maybe not so good. But this man in Maryland said a local win where someone else won $1 million inspired him to buy a ticket from the very same store, and he won $500,000. He told the lottery officials in Maryland he and his wife arrived at the Walmart in Severn last month, and he remembered the store recently sold a scratch-off ticket that scored a $1 million prize. So they decided to head over to the vending machine and try their luck. They said, I have $40, so I decided to pick out two $20 scratch tickets. The man's wife played with him. Her ticket was not a winner, but his ticket, the Gifts of Green, scored a $500,000 windfall. They said it took them 30 minutes before they felt calm enough to drive home. They don't say what they're going to do with their money, but they won it. You guys ready for the Waterfall Wednesday? I think so. For Waterfall Wednesday, we are headed to Massachusetts this time around. And our first entry in the best waterfalls in Massachusetts is this one. This is called Bish Bash. Bash Bish. Bish Bash, Bash Bish Waterfall. It's pretty beautiful. It is I have the close my bike bell story and bring up the right one at the Bash Bish. Apologies for the delay. This is Bash Bish Falls in Egremont. It is a very popular waterfall. It's in the Berkshires. It is the tallest waterfall in Massachusetts, as a matter of fact, in the southwestern part of the state near the borders of New York and Connecticut, part of the Mount Washington State Forest. It is known for being the tallest waterfall in Massachusetts, and it's made of a series of cascades totaling 200 feet. The entrance is often closed in the summer, so the best time to visit Bash Bish is late fall, winter, or early spring. Did I say it right? Bash Bish? Yeah, Bash Bish Falls. The next one on the list is called Racebrook Falls, also in South Egremont, called a hidden gem of a waterfall in southwestern Massachusetts. But this one, unfortunately, requires a little bit of work to get to. But wow, isn't that pretty? Look at that. Relaxing and beautiful. The Racebrook Falls has a trail that takes you right to the waterfall. It's about 1.8 miles, over 1,000 feet of elevation. The waterfall can be combined with Racebrook Falls with a view from Mount Race as well. So there's a lot to see in this area. Really pretty. Although, again, hard to get to. Not for us, though. Number 3 on the list is called Sanderson Brook Falls. And here's a picture of it. It's beautiful. Sanderson Brook Falls is in Chester. It has several cascades and drops. It's located in the Chester-Blandford State Forest. This Berkshire waterfall feels like it's tucked away. It's only a mile walk in the woods to get there, so 2 miles round trip. There's a loop that takes you to a scenic vista first and then has you wind down to the falls and the gorge that comes before the waterfalls. Really cool walk. The next one is called Wacona Falls, and this one is in Dalton, Massachusetts. Oh, look at the dog there. Cute. The half-mile walk to the falls at Wacona Falls State Park, likely crowded in the summer and warmer weather days. The name Wacona derived from a Native American Algonquin language, believed to mean spirit of the hills. You can take a look at the main falls and then walk along the Wacona Brook, which springs from the Windsor Reservoir. Really pretty. This next one, I don't know if I'm going to say it right. Umpachany Falls. It's in Southfield, Massachusetts. There's Umpachany. Really fun. This one is not well known. It's a short walk from a parking lot where there's a large lawn and picnic tables and children's swing sets. The sign there reads, a Housatonic Indian chief, Umpachene, who once fished in these waters, is commemorated here in the falls and in the stream which today bears his name. If you walk around this area, there's a beautiful trail that takes you past the water, and there are smaller falls in this area as well, kind of rushing water. Very peaceful. Here's one, number 6 on the list, called Glendale Falls in Massachusetts. Here's Glendale. Glendale is also on the Berkshire waterfall list. Kind of tucked away there, surrounded by trees and flat rocks. Bit of a hike to get to it. Number 7 on the list feels like a secret. It's called Round Mountain at McLennan Reservation in the Tyringham area. And it's just kind of pops up. This waterfall, they say, doesn't feel as impressive without a bunch of rain, but there's not a lot of signage here. The people that have hiked this area forever say it's really hard to find, and it just kind of is a bit of a secret. Not even sure what to call it. It doesn't have a name on all trails. It stems from the Hale Pond around Round Mountain at the 596-acre McLennan Reservation. It's beautiful. The trail hugs the falls, which have several drops over quite a distance, and you can hear the sights and sounds of the water, see the sights, hear the sounds of the water as you loop around. Number 8 on the list is the Campbell Falls in Norfolk. The main entrance to this trail, located in Norfolk, Connecticut, right below the border of Massachusetts, but the actual waterfall is in Massachusetts. And there it is. This is Campbell Falls, a peaceful walk in a deep forest setting, tall pine trees, feels like a magical spot. Hardly ever crowded. It looks magical, doesn't it? Super pretty. And the next one on the list is the Cascades, off the Cascades Trail in North Adams in the Berkshires. I have a picture of that too. That looks chilly. That scene looks chilly to me. This is hiking at Mount Greylock, where the Cascades Trail is located. And you may come upon the Cascades Trail waterfall. And the last one on the list is Tannery Falls in Savoy. There's this one. It looks like frozen waterfalls. This area was once home to a sawmill in the 19th century. That's why it's called Tannery Falls. Has a beautiful waterfall cascading down a series of rock ledges. The total drop of the falls is about 80 feet. So it is one of the taller Berkshire waterfalls. But there's so much ice and snow that it's kind of hard to tell. The waterfall is right next to and before the official Tannery Falls. The Tannery Falls was frozen when this picture was taken. The loop that you walk on takes you down an old access road. You get to see, it looks so picturesque and also chilly. I'm going to show you one more picture of the loop that you're walking down. You imagine walking down this snowy, chilly road, all bundled up. And here's what you are walking down. 2 roads diverged in a yellow wood. You're walking down this path, and then you come upon this waterfall. What a day. That, my friends, is Waterfall Wednesday. Hopefully you're a little relaxed now. Now you have to go out and take your walk. Get a little 5 minutes of exercise in, right? Or more. I'm not holding you to 5 minutes. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for all the contributions to the show. Thank you, Glenn, for another 2. I'm telling you, I should be paying you. I got so many wonderful emails about people excited to have you on the show, and you just have such a lovely way about you. People want you to come back. Awesome. Again, please email me, kim@theafterparty.live, if you want to pop on the show and share a favorite travel location with us. I would love to have you. There's the email address, kim@theafterparty.live. All right, everybody. Tomorrow on The Mark Thompson Show, we have David Katz, the former federal prosecutor, now defense attorney, who is awesome, and I love him. And my congressman will be on the show as well, Congressman Jared Huffman, and it's going to be a really interesting interview. So I hope you'll be with us for that. And then, of course, the After Party Live is Trivia Thursday tomorrow, followed by the Nikki Maduro Show at 5 p.m. Pacific time. So I hope you're able to hang out with us as we talk politics and consume beverages. Cocktails, mocktails, and politics on the Nikki Maduro Show tomorrow afternoon or evening. But until we meet again, make it the very best rest of your Wednesday, and I'll meet you right back here on YouTube tomorrow. Bye, everybody.
The After Party Live would like to thank the following contributors: and viewers like you.